Hi everybody! Today we're going to learn how to activate your classes on QuickBooks Online. So there's a lot of people that don't know that you can keep track of different classes on QuickBooks. What do I mean by classes? Classes means that you can separate your expenses by locations or a certain type of product, or if you want to separate it by type of job that you have. So I'm going to have an example. In this case, we have Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a class for gardening and then a class for landscaping. And then we can have a report that shows both of them. So we're going to have to go to the settings. And if you have QuickBooks Online Essentials or Basic QuickBooks, you might not be able to activate the classes, but in this case this is QuickBooks Online Plus, so it should have that option to activate the classes, and then you just click on Accounting Settings. So once you're here, you're going to go down to Advanced, and right where it says Categories, you see right here that says Track Classes or Track Locations. So classes, you can use classes for anything. You can use classes as locations, you can use classes as type of product or type of service. You can use it to, separate two different types of income that you have on your reporting, on your reports. I like to use classes for most of the things, but I'm just gonna activate it right here. Whenever you're having job costing on your QuickBooks Online, and you want to make sure that every single expense that you have is categorized as a class, you can just click on this checkbox right here. And if you don't necessarily want to track every single little thing, then you can just leave it unchecked. So now I activated, and I'm just going to X out of here. And I'm going to go back. And this is how it works. So when you're on the banking feeds, this is loading. You're on the banking feeds, and you need to make sure that these expenses are categorized under those classes. So let's say, for example, that the expense that I have here from Hicks Hardware, this was, you see that it popped right here, the box for class. Hicks Hardware, I'm just going to classify it as materials, which in this case will be cost of goods sold. There you go. I'm going to put it under cost of goods sold. And the class for Hicks, I'm just going to say that I bought tools for gardening. And I'm going to add that class. So that's part of gardening. The next one will be Tim. So in this case, it would be also cost of goods sold, but it's not part of gardening. This one, I will make it part of landscaping. And you can add accounts like this. You just type it in, and if it says, oh, it doesn't exist, you can just click on Add New. And that's just pretty much how it works. So I just added landscaping. So this is a category, this is a vendor, and I'm just going to click Add on these two. So this is how it works. There's only going to be 2 transactions on the reports, but this is how it could show you how it's going to look. So let me go to Reports and Profit and Loss, and I'm just going to go to Display Columns By, and now we'll say Classes and Run Report. And then you'll see right here, since I created these 2 classes, I have gardening and I have landscaping. So since I only entered 2 transactions, you only have 2 different transactions recorded on this P&L, on this profit and loss. But this can show you how much you can do with classes. So let's say that we had a client. I'm just going to create 2 sales receipts, one for each class, so you can see what I'm saying. I'm just going to create a sales receipt for Amy as of today's date. And I'm just going to say design. And the class would be gardening. But we also designed the landscaping. And then you see I created a sales receipt for the same customer, and I only separated the two costs of design. So I have gardening and I have landscaping. So I'm just going to click save and close. And then go back to this profit and loss and make sure that all the information is here. Let's display columns by classes. And here you go. So from my sales receipt that I created, I had $75 for each class on that sales receipt. So now you can see that there's income for both classes. You have 75 here, and that transaction that I entered, and you have 75 on this side, another, yeah, and then you have that one transaction here in cost of goods sold. So whatever you don't have classified, it will show you right here. It's not specified. So whenever you think that you haven't done this with all the transactions, once you get to the P&L and you do it by classes like I'm doing right here, you're gonna see all the transactions that are not categorized in a class. And like I said, classes can also be locations. Classes can be types of products. Classes can be types of services. Classes can be whatever you want it to be. It's really interesting how you can just look at the reports and make sure that you're being profitable in one side, maybe not the other so much. So maybe we're gonna have to get rid of this service and just stick with gardening or something like that. This can be really useful if you want to get rid of the weak link. So if you have any questions or you want to request one of their services, you can go to johnsonaccountancy.com, or you can call us to 619-371-9393. Have a good day.